going on, guys? Damian, how you doing? What's going on? My name is Marcos. We're back with the Pod Kings podcast, guys.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Pod Kings podcast. Like Marcos said, what's going on, Marcos? How have you been? I've been chilling. This has been a hectic week for us here at the podcast, and
Definitely.
We want to just first apologize for unfortunately not being able to release a Wednesday episode.
I know, guys. We're sorry about that. Sorry for the delays.
There was just a lot going on, and from the looks of it, from this point on, we're gonna most likely not be having a Wednesday episode anymore. We'll be having exclusively only the Sunday episode.
Yes.
We'll still be coming at you guys with video and on every podcast and everything. This is gonna be temporary. Hopefully not forever. We're gonna try to get back to 2 episodes a week.
Definitely.
This is just something that's come up recently, and we're gonna have to deal with it. It falls in line with where we live. Me and Marcos live in Texas. They just reopened, so business is really starting for us. And even though we don't agree with it, we have to follow suit and get moving with the world, or else the world's gonna leave us behind. So
most definitely, guys. We have to. I mean, we know we have to understand that we just have to adapt to the changes. Hopefully everything goes well, which will, and we'll keep y'all updated also through social media. Go follow us on Twitter and Facebook and all that at Pod Kings Podcast.
Yeah.
We'll always keep you updated, guys. But saying that also, whenever we do our showings on Sundays, we've been discussing here and that we might bring a guest every episode. Who knows? We're still discussing, but we're gonna take a little health procedures with like face mask, and we'll do stuff like that, guys.
Right now we're just testing the waters. This is the first guest we've had in a while. This is my younger brother, actually, Daniel. I don't know if you got any nicknames, Dan. What's up?
Well, basically, I don't really have any nicknames, but I go by Daniel. But this is my older brother, Damian.
Okay.
Yep. So we got one of our first guests, kind of coming back into the rotation with us. We're starting off something slow here, and we're just trying to get the ball rolling, because this is moving quick here in Texas now that we're reopening.
That's true.
And this is what's scary is, like I said, we have to move with the times, because we have to get paid.
Yeah.
We have to keep making money.
With businesses opening, guys, that means we're gonna have to get back on our bills.
We're getting
foreclosures are gonna be leaving.
Outside of the podcast, we're more busier, and we're gonna have to cut back for a little bit. This is gonna be temporary. We're gonna see how this goes, but we're gonna try to come back really strong with Wednesday episodes again. Like I said, this is gonna be temporary. We're gonna just be pumping out Sunday episodes for now, but you stay tuned, because we got some really good things coming. Besides having more guests, starting to come back in, we're gonna have a couple other good things. And I'm also really excited. I just found something really dope, and I'm excited for this, because Marcos, this is probably going to be something we do on one of our next podcasts.
Really?
Yeah, I'll bring it up later on in the podcast.
Okay.
But we got some good stuff coming on
Definitely,
for you guys. Even if it's only
going
to be on
just because
Wednesday.
there's a little bit of delay with no 2 episodes, guys, we will still be coming at you strong with this information, and we will keep you tuned. We will take care of you guys.
You guys are going to like this stuff, because I know Marcos likes it, and I like it.
Definitely.
And if you guys are watching this, then, of course, this is going to be great.
I'm excited.
It's going to be out of this world, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Awesome. Well.
But, let's get to this. This is our guest. What's going on, Daniel? First questions first. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, but things could be better, but the weather's nice. That's something.
Hey, the weather has been nice. It's been hot lately,
It has.
Kicked out the whole, winter. Now it's time for summer.
It was kind of interesting, because last week it hailed twice, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it rained a whole bunch. Guys, Grapevine Lake was to the max of water.
But that was like that also a month ago when we had Emron on our podcast.
Yes.
It got even higher now.
Wow.
It's not gone down.
Yes.
And that's that's cool. And what's also kind of cool is there's not too many people who have been out on the lake. I've seen some people on the lake recently, but they weren't at the time. And I feel like there's a lot of stuff like flowing better out there. I think nature's getting better.
You think that?
You think so?
Now. Hell yeah.
Possibly.
Okay. Hey, we just got to keep it up with this no pollution, you know?
I mean, the big thing is Corona. Daniel, how has Corona affected you? I know you're a student. You go to school.
Mm-hmm.
I know you also have a job.
Yeah.
What do you think it is? It's hit you harder, school life or work life?
Well, to be honest, like it's more of like both, because essentially in school, like I can't go at all just because everybody's at risk of spreading it from like many people being in the building and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like similar to my like workspace too, because I work at a restaurant. So like there's many people that are always coming in, like ordering food and stuff.
What restaurant did you work at?
Papados.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a seafood kitchen.
Yeah.
So Papados is a pretty well-known restaurant.
It is.
You know, I know there's a few places that have already started opening up since Texas reopened on Friday.
Uh-huh.
Has Papados reopened?
Actually, I don't think we've opened in any
No.
location so far.
You know, I saw Uncle Julio's wasn't open either.
I hear that
I was over
they
in
are
that
supposed to
area.
open on Wednesday.
Oh, really?
That's what I've heard. But I heard that the Uncle Julio's, the original Uncle Julio's
Uh-huh.
in Dallas, that one's not set to open until the 20th of May.
Why?
They just don't want to open.
It's better to be safe than sorry.
So, but here's what I'm
Definitely.
thinking. So there's certain restaurants that don't want to open yet.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think is gonna happen when they finally do open, and like Texas is in like phase 2 of their reopening?
I honestly think it's gonna be a big effect.
Decline that. Personally, I think that. Oh, hold on, guys. Technical difficulties. Marcos, fix that real quick. There you go. Boom. Yeah. So, I mean, personally, I think that once we reopen, and if it's moving on to the second phase at that point, there's gonna be a lot of people, you know, out and about that have been going out for a while because Texas has been in phase 1, and they're gonna have gotten sick or passed something on. So once these other restaurants start opening, it's gonna produce a bigger shockwave on the second wave.
Definitely. I think it's just, dude, there's gonna be so much at risk at that point. It's not gonna be cool, because honestly, man, the amount of people that could be contained to it and the spread of it, it's gonna be another pandemic.
Yeah, I think so too, because like people they would assume that like the virus has gone down by then, but who really knows? Like
in reality, the numbers are still kind of going up, guys. You know, I see all this stuff on social media, like, oh, the cases only gone up to 200 something people, and I'm like, I don't know if those are true, man, because people in China are starting to get a lot of more cases are going up, and now there's a killer wasp around the fucking world.
Yeah, for real.
Like, what the hell is going on?
You want to hear an interesting statistic I saw the other day?
Uh-huh.
There's like 4 big places in North Texas where coronavirus has hit, and they've like separated. It's like Tarrant County, Dallas County, Harris County, and like something else. I think Denton County. There's 0 recoveries in Dallas County.
Oh.
In Tarrant, Denton, everywhere else, there's been recoveries, but in Dallas specifically, there's been 0 recoveries
Really?
of this COVID.
So people are still sick?
No, yeah, nobody in Dallas has gotten better, and people, you know, Texas is reopening. How is it looking in Dallas? Marcos, you and I got together and went actually on a trip to a couple restaurants.
Yes, we
The
did.
day that Texas reopened, and interesting what we saw.
It's a big difference, guys. Nothing's gonna be normal, I think. You know, we of course went prepared. You know, we just wanted to go see the experience, more like find out information for you guys. But guys, it's gonna be a big hit. You know, people are gonna come back. They're gonna be like, hell yeah, let's go out, let's go do some shit. And it's gonna hit hard, guys. It's gonna hit hard. We need to be careful. You know, if you do want to go out, just go out with precautions. Maybe just keep really good safe of yourself, like hand sanitizers at your side.
Yeah.
You know, just maybe go to the bathroom a couple times to wash your hands, you know, at least when you eat or something. Just maintain a little healthy, guys. We can't be going through that.
Yo, Daniel, what do you think is gonna be the scary thing of getting back into your school life or work life? Where do you think you're gonna get sick quicker?
I believe I'd get more sick at school quicker than my workspace, just because of how many people are there.
So do you think this could change the whole school landscape in general. Because you're in high school, not university. So this is public school. Is this going to change how public school is? Are people going to be getting taught online way more now?
Well, I mean, this wasn't really ever possible back then just because of technology and like our capabilities. But since like we have like more advanced technology, I think they believe we can like push on and like learn more from this like time period. To maybe
you think it's gonna be a big transaction from the whole in-person aspect to like online? Like
yeah, I believe
online
so.
Classes, you know.
Yeah.
Like people that probably had to do like interviews or stuff. You think they'll start doing online interviews? That's a big thing. And stuff
Teachers
like
make videos and just put them out to students. And think about it like this: if a teacher does this, they're gonna be teaching the same thing every semester, right? They're only gonna have to make that video once. They're just gonna be able to sit at home for a full year, not doing anything except just sending emails out to people.
I know some teachers right now do like a live thing.
Well, that's also true, but at my high school, a few of the teachers actually work from school whenever they're like assigning assignments and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
so they're at the school.
Yeah,
there's just no children there.
Yeah, basically. But I believe some of them are also like staying home just to stay safe.
And I think I've actually heard that too. Like there's like people going to the actual schools but with no children there.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, offices. People can't come and do stuff like at the doctor's office, but there's still people there working.
Yeah.
They're just not taking people in, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's just crazy stuff because like it's going to be a big transaction. People don't have technology nowadays sometimes.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You know, how are people going to keep updated? Are people really going to go to the doctor? Or are they just going to continue on just be like, hey, you know what? I just go through the normal routine. I haven't gotten it yet, right?
Well, Marcos, I told you the shady thing that happened the other day with the COVID testing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I don't want to bring that up right now because I don't want the person who it happened to get upset about me bringing this up. Mm-hmm. But just know that there's some shady things going on behind the scenes, too, in these hospitals. The testing that's happening isn't happening the way you might think.
It's not happening at all, probably.
Exactly.
You know? It's probably not happening at all, guys. And that's the bad thing because we need to be informed.
That's true.
We need to know what's going on.
Daniel, you saw that also the same day, like, or you may have heard of it, but you know, there's no COVID testing in certain spots, and what's the dilemma for me is I've been working. Thank Jesus, I haven't gotten you know sick at all. But what's gonna happen when I start getting in contact with everyone? Who knows? And Marcos, you're like one of the lucky ones who isn't. You get to work alone, doing your thing. Whatever.
Yeah, because of the whole landscaping and stuff. But still, I mean, we still come in contact with people, you know?
I mean, that's true, and then you're also riding around with them.
Exactly.
With a couple people.
But you know what, guys? Like I said, we maintain clean. We try to do the most there is, the most possible.
So, one more question for you, Daniel. I know that in your spare time you like to, you know, play video games and listen to music and everything. What is your plan after high school? Are you going to pursue something along those lines with video games or music, or what is your goal after high school? Let's hear the story that you got going on. What your plan is.
So far, really, like, I've just been thinking about it. Like,
universities you want to go to?
Well, maybe. I've been looking at this one university called Damian University, based in Oakland, California, and it's like the study of like cannabis.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
Yeah. And it's legal over there, and there's many states where I could work and actually climb up the ranks to like be a master grower.
Okay, so what is this school, and what would you do?
Well, so basically, it's about like a 14-week like seminar where you're like hands-on learning about marijuana and how to deal it, or not how to deal it, but like how to like tend to it from like a seed all the way up.
Basically
like,
grow it.
Yeah, essentially. And then also you learn more stuff on like the law side too.
Wow.
Yeah, just so like, you know, like everything is fine. Mm-hmm. But like there's also many other things you can do in that industry too. Like extracting THC to make other items and such.
Really?
Yeah.
Yo, that sounds pretty dope.
Damn.
It does sound dope.
That's in Oakland, California. Oaksterdam University.
But like,
shout out to y'all.
It wouldn't be like an immediate thing though, because like obviously I'd need money to go out there to California and then to stay over there.
And California's very expensive to live at. You know,
oh, definitely.
You have to really have it made in order to go live out there.
Yeah, but I see that in like the next like 8 years.
Okay.
Well, that's pretty cool.
That's good.
Yeah, I dig that.
But in the time being between that, through high school, I'm gonna just keep working at this restaurant, and then hopefully I'll get better jobs, and maybe pursue like a culinary career.
Dude, what if you were like a cannabis culinary?
See, that would be dope.
Have you seen that show on Netflix called Cooked with Cannabis?
Yeah, Cooked with Cannabis.
Yeah, I've actually seen that.
Dude, that's dope. Imagine the amount of money that could be
I bet
made in
Baked
there.
with Bud was taken.
Probably. That's a good name, actually.
Baked with Bud. That's dope. Well, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy, Daniel. I wish you good luck in that because that sounds very, very successful.
Well, it is a new
Marcus, you got any
frontier.
questions for him? What do you got? What do you think?
Well, I mean, you answered that one. I kind of wanted to know that. What have you been doing with this whole Corona thing, dude? Like, how do you like maintain yourself busy?
Well, honestly, like, not to be like so pessimistic about it, but like, it's just been kind of like boring. But like at the same time, like, I've kind of found like a way to keep myself busy with like texting or playing video games, listening to music,
Okay.
watching movies too.
Well, you are in high school, so you don't have to worry about it too much. So
True.
I would do the same thing. What have you been watching? Have you seen anything cool on Netflix or Hulu or whatever you watch? Anything on anything lately? Because we had a top 10 recently.
Not too long ago.
Yeah.
And there's a couple shows on Netflix right now.
There's actually some
whoa,
other
you
cool
know
stuff.
what's coming out tonight?
What is coming out tonight?
Rick and Morty, boys and
Rick
girls.
and Morty, my man.
Listen, we're gonna get a little Rick and Morty. Well, I'm gonna watch Rick and Morty tonight, eat a burger or something, get Swift.
Same. Take a shit on
And
the
you guys
floor.
don't miss it. I think it's gonna come out at what, like 11:15 or something?
Yeah.
11
no,
o'clock.
11:59 maybe. Doesn't it usually come out like at midnight?
It comes out, yeah. Or it's a weird time. Go check it out. We're gonna have this posted earlier on all podcasts. On YouTube, it's not gonna be posted yet, but you guys go check that. Go check out Rick and Morty.
Definitely.
And if you're watching this tomorrow on Monday, sorry.
Sorry about you.
Go see what you missed.
Yep, definitely gotta watch it, guys, because Rick and Morty is funny as hell.
Definitely.
Very, very
Top 10
funny.
shows.
Top 10. It's an essential. It's an essential.
I would say so.
Well, should we take a little sponsor break or not yet?
Well, right before we do that, I have one thing left to say.
Okay.
Marcos, I was telling you that I saw something really badass recently, and this is gonna be something that we get into one of our next podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking one of the cool things I just saw recently. I heard this on another podcast actually, on Steve-O's podcast with Demi Lovato.
Mm-hmm.
Demi Lovato brought up something she saw on Apple TV, which I actually have Apple TV. I have Apple TV because whenever I bought my iPhone 11, they gave me a year's subscription, and she talked about this movie called what's it called? Well, something of the Fifth Kind, and pretty much. So like the first kind of Contact of the Fifth Kind with it's pretty much an alien movie, and it's a documentary, and pretty much like the first kind of contact you have with an alien would be like seeing a light or something, Second contact would be seeing like seeing the ship. Third,
the ship.
Yeah, like seeing a light, so like believing in aliens. That's first contact. Yeah. Second contact would be like seeing a ship, like an alien
a spaceship.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So third contact would be something like proof, like a photo. You got evidence they left something. Okay, so contact of the fourth kind though is like making contact with an alien.
Okay.
Like physical contact.
And what's the
whether you get on a UFO or whatever.
You just make contact with them?
Yeah. Okay. But you make physical contact with them.
Like you touch it.
Whatever they do, physically.
Okay.
I don't know how they get into your brain, what the fuck aliens do,
Sure.
The fifth kind of contact is human induced contact, where a human makes contact with the aliens. Because usually aliens reach out to humans, and that's how we make contact with them. So the fifth kind would be us reaching out to an alien through some type of spiritual meditation or something similar to that. It's just like through the mind you are able to, get in contact with an alien.
Huh. And that's a movie, or it's a documentary?
There's a movie like built upon that concept concept, and there's people that have kind of had contact with aliens, and they show you some things. I haven't seen it yet. It's on Apple TV. I've looked it up because I have it after I heard about this, and I was like, whoa, there's a movie. Like, we should watch this. Okay. So, I'm thinking this is going to probably end up being one of the episodes we see, but I'm really interested to see what you think about that. And, Daniel, what do you think about aliens?
I mean, who really knows, honestly? And if we did know, who's to say the government would let us know that we've made contact?
Right.
That's all I would have to say.
The Navy released videos recently.
But
actually.
I think it's like, I don't know.
Do you believe in that? Do you think
those
were real?
I do believe in aliens, but now I'm just like, I don't think those were real.
Do you think it was CGI or something?
Yeah.
That's a theory.
It's exactly what it is, my man. I don't believe that. I believe that they wouldn't make it that easy for us to come upon that. We've waited how many years, and then all of a sudden, we're just gonna give you this.
Okay, well maybe it's in correlation to like realizing how easy it is to find out stuff on the internet. Anybody can post anything on the internet.
That is true. Oh yeah, definitely. That is very true.
At the same time, you never know what's real or false.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to see the movie. It's like 2 hours long. I want to see what kind of contact and if there's a way that we could learn how to do that. So, what do you guys think?
I would definitely
do you think that there's any type of way that we can make contact through meditation?
Oh yeah, I mean through meditation, you can probably open up that third eye.
Maybe.
Who's to say, man? Monks be doing all kinds of shit.
True.
They'd be making fire up. Like, who knows? Do you think you can do it, Damian?
I mean, like maybe DMT or some type of, that's why people hallucinate. I'm interested to see if that's probably a route they take. We'll have to find out whenever we watch the movie.
Definitely.
But, I think, I think this is a good time to hear for a word from our sponsors.
Definitely.
Or, actually, before we get into that, I have one more thing we should probably get into.
What is it?
Healthy boundaries, guys. Internally, this can mean a lot. Emotionally, it can mean a lot. Physically, it can mean a lot. When it comes to me, and what I think about it in general is it's all perspective-based and opinion-based. People are going to see us right now doing this podcast together so close and think, well, Texas just barely reopened. You guys are now, getting back into this. That's not smart. We're doing this in a healthy manner because we know what we're doing. Physically, that's a way. That's just how I feel about that. Emotionally, healthy boundaries can go, again, in your own perspective and your own opinion, however you're feeling. It could be something with a relationship you have with another person, sexual or not, or
emotional or anything.
Yeah, anything like that. Those are these. You just got to make your own limits on a lot of things that you want to talk about on that, or like whatever you think about. Whenever you think maybe I should limit myself a little bit in this way, so I can achieve better in this way.
No, I agree. I think healthy boundaries comes to more like it's like kind of relating it to your conscious.
I think they can go a lot of different ways.
It can go a lot of different ways. Healthy boundaries can be something that you can really make yourself to adapt. Like, what is it called? Just like, I just totally went blank. Well, guys, what I'm trying to say is like, let's say, you think about yourself. Let's say you put on a dress or something and you go out and you're like, damn, I don't know if I really look good. Maybe I gained a lot of weight. Healthy boundaries will make yourself change that type of thinking, make yourself think like, hey, I'm a badass, There's a lot of like aspects of like that. And like healthy boundaries, like you said, can go really long ways. It can go really long ways. It can go into your personal life at work, trying to get all your stuff done for you. That way you can get that big promotion. It's more like responsibility. It can do, it can be like that,
I think everybody just, think big picture overall whenever you think about anything in your life that you should set limits on and boundaries on. Think big picture, how it's going to help you, put your mind to that mindset to where that you can think big picture and think, okay, I got to do this so I can do this. You know, it's all about perspective.
Take that initiative. Take that initiative.
It's
Make
all about
that
perspective,
change.
though. So, like, you know, you guys do so accordingly, but this is just something I've been thinking about also. So
I think we should all maybe at one point think about it and be like, hey, what is it?
This is what I like. This is what I don't want.
What is my own health boundary? This is what I want to
do. This is what I don't want to do.
Exactly.
So make sure you know your limits always.
Yeah. Shout out to Maribel for asking us, you know, wanting to talk about that. I hope we answered your question, girl. And if you have any other questions, guys, not just you, Maribel, anybody, you know, shout us out to @Podkings Podcast on Twitter. Go follow us on Instagram, Facebook. We got a page on there.
You could also find us on YouTube if you want.
Yeah, definitely on YouTube, and leave us a message or something. But definitely leave us something to talk about because we want to answer your questions.
Comments or something. Come on. But you know, before we get into the second half, I think, and Marcos, I know you got a lot to say on this second half. So before we get into it, I think we should hear something from our sponsor, Anchor.
Definitely.
Let's see what they got to say.
Shebang. And we're back, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed the whole Anchor sponsor because, you know, shout out to Anchor.
Marcos, that's the
way.
People you love. I mean, we love all of our sponsors and our partners, everybody that we work with. But, you know, Anchor's our day one. We're going to stick with them. We got a couple other day ones, but, you know, Anchor's literally been in every episode. So,
yeah, Anchor's all the way, guys. Go check them out. Well, coming back to the second half of the Podkings Podcast, guys, there's a big subject that we've been wanting to talk about. I think it's pretty much internationally, worldwide.
This is something,
I would say so.
This is something that's like been known for a while, but what we saw recently is very like it just barely came out, right?
No, I feel like it was more unknown to the common person.
Well, people knew a little bit about this. We sent some links earlier this week on the Twitter. And we kind of showed you guys a little sneak peek so you could see also, but...
Definitely. I mean, I think it's probably been known, but people just haven't said anything because they're scared. What do you think?
What is it? So. Tell people what it is.
So, guys, when we come into the subject, I hope y'all have seen this, but we linked the video on our Twitter, something called Out of the Shadows. Out of the Shadows, you know. Definitely when it comes to Out of the Shadows, there's a lot to talk about because it involves a lot of people that y'all know. A lot of celebrities, a lot of even president people, a lot of important people.
A lot of famous people. Like
a lot
big
of famous
names.
people. Big names.
Yeah. People who could, like, are powerful and could rule a lot of other people with money. The money they have.
You know, money is a big thing in the world, man.
Money makes the world go round.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. So, I mean, have you heard about the whole Out of the Shadows documentary, Daniel?
Well, what do they talk about in it?
Well, actually, yeah, I've heard about it.
Well, actually... Look, Marcos, if anything, this is what you should know. This is the guy who sent us the video.
Yeah.
Definitely.
This is the whole reason we have Daniel on on this podcast is because he sent us this video. He knows a lot about this stuff.
Definitely.
Well, maybe not a lot, but he knows
Well, at least he's the one that started it.
He's got a lot of key components
Yeah.
and stuff that you're gonna need to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to speak for you, but I know that you got some really important stuff to say about this, and you know, I'm excited. He sent us this video.
I know.
And so, Marcos, really, what do you think about the video?
I mean, what I think about the video is that it's freaking crazy. You know. I've known about the whole Jeffrey Epstein, the whole island, and the whole, you know,
we gotta tell the people what the video is about. We still haven't told them.
So basically, what is it about then?
Essentially, basically to start it off, one day I was just scrolling through my phone on an app TikTok, and like there's a lot of related searches and videos related to the stuff you like watch, basically, just on like your preference and who you follow. But I was just scrolling through, and they were talking about this movie, some random person. So I was just like, you know what, the documentary looks definitely interesting, and I've heard stuff about it. So basically, like, it's an hour and a half long documentary, and it just it goes into like a lot of stuff about like a so-called thing called Pizzagate, which is like a big conspiracy having to do with like the Clintons, Jeffrey Epstein, and many other powerful people. But it gets pretty hectic on the theory that people think are true with like celebrities and stuff. But
he sent me a couple pictures earlier this week where Lady Gaga was in one of them, and then there was another one where like people are commenting on the pizza.
Yeah.
You know, do these include these people?
Yeah. I mean, so basically what it is like there's like this like they like to like worship. They believe in like this sort of like devil worshipping kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
With like ritualistic like sacrifices.
Like saint worshippers.
Yeah, basically, and like they get into a lot of like crazy stuff having to do with like children and like mainly like innocent people, but they believe like sacrifices will bring them like fame and riches and stuff like that, and they happen to believe that like Satanism is very real.
Dude, I've heard a lot of people actually that believe in that.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the hell's wrong with them.
Me neither.
You know, including with the whole Out of the Shadows thing. You know, when it comes to the documentary, it talks about this stuntman that was like working in the whole Hollywood and thing, and like, you know, it talks about that. So these people really got into close contact with this whole situation.
I thought he had a really interesting story. That stuntman was really cool.
Like, dude, like,
yeah, definitely.
These people come really close to these interactions with people, and they see what's going on, and it's like, we're just like, okay, we hear about it, this is what we think. They're like, wow, this is happening.
Yeah.
You know, like, holy crap, this is happening right in front of me. That kid's about to get abducted by who knows how that person I just know. You know, it's a lot to think about, man. And I think if people in the society world right now that we live in found out about this, shit could go 360, bro. People could really say something.
Many people have seen it, though. And that documentary on YouTube has over, like, 10 million views. So, like, a decent amount of people have seen the video.
Dude, why haven't they said anything?
This documentary will really open a lot of people's eyes. Like, it talks about a lot of stuff that people may have like maybe heard these names and the things that they might have done, but this will like really show you like a behind the scenes look of like what could really be happening. And I mean, you're not going to see anything crazy, but the things that these people talk about and tell you, it's something you got to hear. You know,
I agree, guys, because it's very interesting.
It's eye opening for sure. And these are people we look up to, people that we listen to every day, people we see on Instagram, Twitter.
And there's a lot of symbols that are even telling us in front of our eyes that we just don't know.
Yeah,
a lot of symbols.
They like to include a lot of symbolism in a lot of things that they do, just so like
that triangle thing.
There's like that, and like also there's a certain god that they sacrifice to that like they believe in.
That was crazy.
And it's an Araisli god of like basically like destruction, and his name is like, or he has many names because like. It's derived from like Hebrew, but like the most common like name I found was Moloch.
Okay.
So like basically like they like have a statue of like a human, but with like an ox head. And like,
I've seen that a lot, dude.
Yeah, what I was reading about that too, and like what one of my teachers actually talked about in my class, in my U.S. history class, was that like during these sacrifices they would heat the hands of the statue up, and then they would place their firstborn child.
What the fuck?
And like they saw that like that symbolism of that certain religion was in like many famous people's like households and stuff.
Wow.
And like the temple apparently that Jeffrey Epstein had on his private island had like a bunch of M's on it written in like certain parts of the building, but like
what does that
just randomly mean? It's the god's, or it's short for like the god's name, Moloch.
Oh, it's initial.
Moloch.
Yeah, his initial.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, dude. You think all of Hollywood is just?
I mean, not. There's obviously like, not every single person is in it, but like people believe that this is like a higher society above like the average person.
You know, in our whole last episode, we talked about a lot of conspiracies, and then we talked about whole 5G and Bill Gates. You think Bill Gates is in it?
Possibly.
See, something I've heard about in the past is like there's like these camp rituals and like retreats that famous people go on, and they worship like this big owl and shit like that.
Yeah,
I've heard about some stuff like that, and I wonder if this could play in part with that somehow. Are the same people who do that type of thing also connected to this?
Well, actually, that is true because the owl is also symbolism of the god Moloch.
Really?
Oh, really?
It actually is.
Okay, that's crazy. I didn't look into it too much because I didn't know that part. But that's insane.
So what other symbolisms are there to this guy? Is there like a pig one?
Well, it's mainly just those symbols.
Just
but
is there any everyday things that you see and you're like, oh, well, there's a symbol in there? Because I know there was a conspiracy that Monster, like the way that those lines were put was like a 666 type thing.
Which one, like Monsters Inc. or?
The energy drink.
Oh.
There was like some type of conspiracy on that. Do
you want to know something cool about that side story?
What?
I did some landscaping for the guy that invented that the actual design.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
A monster?
Yeah, like the actual design of
When?
Monster. It was like my second job that I did with
Oh, you should have asked
Southern
him about
Standard.
that. That would have been sick.
I know, I didn't find out till later on.
Oh, okay.
I was like, wow, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Oh, yeah, that was side story, but go ahead.
But yeah, there is symbolism in a lot of stuff, and people like to believe that like certain people hold symbolism whenever they believe in the person. Like for instance, like let's say I was a famous celebrity and I believed in that, and I decided like they basically try to say Lil Nas X believes in that because he's had many symbolism things in like his clothes on his live performances and stuff.
And his videos.
His videos definitely for
I mean,
sure.
there's a lot of there's always conspiracies related to artists, music videos, and the things that they release too. I mean, look at Tyler the Creator. He looked fucking demonic when he released Goblin.
True.
But I don't know. I think those conspiracies could go either way.
Yeah.
Those, and because it's really hard to tell because they're famous.
Yeah, and rappers try to do the whole trending thing. You know, they want to be part of the whole trend.
There's also lines in certain like rapper songs where they're like, "I sold my soul to the devil" type shit.
Yeah.
And so like it's really hard
the
to
whole Kanye West thing.
Exactly, and it's really hard to like really judge on that. Some rappers probably do it to, you know, like get a joke or a bar out, or a line, but some of them probably really mean it. I don't know about Lil Nas X, but I imagine that there's a lot of, besides like all of the politicians and other famous people already in these cults.
I bet she's more bigger than the whole politician one.
The
It
Illuminati
definitely
is
is.
also real.
Like, dude, like, you know, they say that Hillary Clinton's part of it, the whole Clinton family. They said Barack
They
Obama
definitely
was part
say
of
that.
it. Like, dude, there's a lot of people that are up there in the politician world that could maybe part of this whole epidemic of that situation. You know?
Well, on more of the celebrity side, what was crazy was around like maybe I would say January. It was when I was in this certain teacher's class for my U.S. history class, but we were like learning about like World War II, but he kind of just like sidetracked randomly one day, and he started talking about like this worship and the occult and stuff.
Whoa!
Like mid class, and everybody was just like, "What? Like, what is he talking about?"
Out of nowhere?
Just out of nowhere. And then like he showed us like stuff on Twitter, like basically like relating to all of that. And then he was also explaining to us how Justin Bieber also like basically.
Well, they say he's a freaking demon because he like morphs to like a demon.
He's a lizard.
Well,
lizard.
But basically like the theory was saying that he believes in the occult because like there was like a documentary. I didn't see it, but my teacher said he had saw it, and it was talking about like how Justin Bieber like apparently like released words, I guess, to somebody, and that person told the people of the documentary. So they were saying like how they had like a drugged out kid and they wanted him to do stuff to the kid, but Justin Bieber was just like, nah, like that's not me. So like basically he just like left. But they were saying how like the whole stage of like whenever they were saying like Justin Bieber was going crazy was really whenever like
that was going on.
Yeah, like that's what was really going on.
up.
Exactly, that was their cover up story basically.
Holy shit, bro!
But like they pushed,
like he's the crazy one.
Yeah, they pushed that story out to the media because they have power in the media and they release what they want you to see.
Damn, that's crazy how like.
It's crazy how my teacher
happen,
told me
bro.
that. Yeah.
What?
Exactly, and that's related to the same documentary.
Is that how you kind of started?
Yeah.
This whole thing?
I just kind of forgot about this whole theory thing because like I tried telling some friends, but they were just like, "Nah, you're crazy."
You're fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then boom.
Well,
Exactly.
I mean, you gotta open your eyes. We saw the Lady Gaga thing with the pizza things, and that's an artist in the world, dude. Like, who else should we look into? Do you think there's athletes who are also in this whole thing?
Possibly.
Dude, I wouldn't want to say this, but whenever, you know, the whole Kobe Bryant thing happened, was it on purpose?
See, I was just thinking that. And why is it weird? I mean, it's so weird because whenever you were just talking, Daniel, is whenever I was thinking about Kobe for some reason. Whenever you were talking about January, I was like, that's so weird. Like, why was it happened around
And
that
you
time
know
that
what's
he started
weird?
talking about it?
He also talked about Kobe too, relating to that, but more on the sense that like people just knew it was gonna happen. But I didn't. That part.
That he was gonna die?
Something like that. But like that, he was going more off on like a longer trail of just stuff I kind of didn't believe. But he mentioned like a lot of different theories just to like open our eyes, I guess.
Whoa. That's crazy, guys. You know, there's a lot more involved in this world that we don't know about.
Definitely.
Just like I said in the first half, guys, we need to know.
I mean, definitely.
We need to know.
Yeah, definitely. You know, even if you're not going a bunch of research or anything, if you're on Instagram or Twitter, look at some of the your favorite famous people. look at what some people are talking about with
like
them
in their comments or
mentions.
what?
Yeah, in their mentions and stuff, and you know, see, maybe they got something related to this whole Pizzagate thing. Hopefully they don't, because that's some sad stuff, and I would not.
That
want,
is
I don't want
definitely-
anybody
It's
to be
some
part of that.
crazy stuff. Man.
That's some dark stuff for
It's
sure.
some crazy dark stuff.
I mean,
that,
pretty much this whole Pizzagate thing. We really still haven't explained what this whole thing is. Pizzagate it's sex trafficking for young kids.
But Pizzagate really is just like a code word.
Yeah.
Like, and so many Hillary Clinton emails that got leaked, the specific ones many people were talking about, there was like many code emails talking about,
So-
when are we going to go pick up this pizza? Can we get a pizza for an hour and a half? And how much would that cost?
It wasn't just pizza. They talked about handkerchiefs.
Handkerchiefs too.
And so like there's these code words, you know.
And guys, when you you're listening to us say these things, and then I know you see a lot of things with sex trafficking and kids being abducted, and on Facebook there's fucking ads all the time about a missing 6-year-old, missing this. Guys, this is all related to one thing at the very end of the day, and it could be related to sex trafficking, and that's one of the things that Out of the Shadows documentary was really improving on. This is all real. Like I said earlier, Jeffrey Epstein, this whole Epstein, this whole situation with him was that he had an island where these people were coming and having sexual relationships with underage people. This was his whole island was that. And a lot of people visited this island, and whenever they caught up to him, he wanted to say stuff. He went to jail and got murdered. That's what they say, guys. A lot of things like this are happening.
But you know what's crazy to think about that? How come they didn't have him on suicide watch?
Exactly. Why didn't they have him? He had plenty of money to get himself a good cell. Not die.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
But if they should have noticed something about that too.
So I was watching, or I listened to another podcast earlier this week. It was actually an MMA podcast, the Ariel Helwani show with Jason Mayhem Miller, and he was talking about all the times he's been in jail. And Marcus, you and I have been in jail also. Even if you were like in a segregated spot because you're famous, so like they have you blocked off to just a one-person cell. Even if they have that, they're going to be checking on you guys so often. So I don't know. And Jason Miller was saying that he doesn't understand how Epstein did it, because he was in Epstein's jail, and apparently the guards walked around every 5 minutes.
Really?
And people, like they were just constantly walking around.
Did he kill himself, guys?
Who knows?
Or did someone kill him? Or is he even dead?
Is he still on his private island?
Who knows? Ooh.
Oh, theory.
Who knows, man? Are they still visiting this island since he's alive? He said, you know what? Get me out of there. Say I'm
hasn't
dead.
been sold.
I live here. You can come get it whenever you want.
It hasn't been sold.
Who knows, guys?
Where is it?
And these are, we say these things, guys, just to let you know and inform you, but we want you to go out and reach out and, try and see what's going on yourself. Maybe you can make a difference because some people or something. I don't know. But we want you to reach out also. We're here to inform you and let you know this is what's going on. Now go out and get it.
Yeah, whatever else, if you guys have any input or some things that we might have missed from this whole thing,
definitely.
Go watch the video. The video will give you so much more insight than what we're telling you. Like,
Definitely.
This is just some things that we saw during it that we were interested in. But you got to go watch the video to really get the bigger picture. And that the whole thing is insane to really think about. Like I said, these are the people we look up to. So you got to think about that.
Towards the end of everything, Daniel, what did you think about it? Like, what is your mindset on this now?
Okay, well, honestly,
there's a lot of information given at you.
It was kind of like a lot of information loaded to me, especially because like I watched this just randomly like late at night one night, just because I so happened to become like aware of this video. But like I was just like dumbfounded, I guess. Like I would never expect something like that. Exactly. Like, it's just so twisted,
It's crazy, man, because when I found out about it, I was just like, whoa, I want to know more. And then I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck? Oh gosh, it's just it gets deeper and deeper. The whole Sony links.
The whole
Sony links.
It gets deeper than
Hillary,
just that.
The whole Hillary email links. Do you think those things were just done for no reason, guys?
Ooh.
If you look at those emails, guys, Hillary Clinton had part of it. You looked at those Sony pictures, the owner, those links, bro. Everything is included. That's what I'm telling you guys. anything that you know could go bigger and bigger. It's like a freaking spider web. It
Sure.
goes and
And
goes.
Marcos, you like to say the government to a lot of things, but I noticed you didn't say it on this one. And you know why? It's because it's not just the government. It's the people that we look up to, dude. The people that we like. It's like with people we worship, pretty much. The people we listen to every day on our podcast, the music, the stuff we watch.
It's
not just the government.
Guys.
It's like we're surrounded by this by the stuff. You know what I'm saying?
The government might start it, but it trickles
No,
down with the people.
it wasn't just the government. It's just the richest people in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
The top 1%.
What money gets
Exactly.
you, man? Money can get you into those spots.
It's the money. It's not the power, because money is power. If you got money, you got power, and you're in their group. So it's a lot of the people that we look up to.
And this also includes a lot of like news, news reports, social media.
Yep.
These people are being controlled to tell you what they need to be telling you.
Certain
There's not
news
all.
reports.
Everything isn't always 100%
What was
true.
that thing that every news station was saying, like in that video?
Something about it was something about the world. We'll make world something. I don't know. We're in control of something like that.
I don't know. It was something weird, but I think that was very like ritualistic, some type of conspiracy. You know, like
the media being controlled.
A line being fed to these puppets, pretty much.
Definitely, and it's just crazy, guys. Because also, if you're like looking at these things, just being mindful of taking care of yourself. Also, maybe delete your researches and stuff like that. Because just like they're in control of all that, they're in control of us sometimes too.
Well, you know what I think sometimes, like I've seen many different podcasts where I've learned about different cults and stuff like that, or just like I guess you would say
it was a cult, right?
Yeah, that's what they were saying, but it's more of just like something to say, to pinpoint, I guess. But there's been many like podcasts I've seen where they have to talk about theories just like this. Like for instance, on Joe Rogan, a few guests he's had, like Eddie Bravo and Alex Jones, they go deep into like conspiracies of the government and the CIA, and like it's pretty much relating to this.
They kept saying the CIA in that video.
Exactly.
They were like, the CIA controls this, the CIA this, the CIA that, dude. It's
Definitely.
like, what is the CIA?
Well, they're like one of the biggest ones. I think they're bigger than the FBI for sure, and the DEA and everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's because they're like more tactical. It's a Central Intelligence Agency, so
Yeah.
I
I
guess.
don't know. It's a lot of crazy stuff. I'm definitely telling you guys.
What's your
watch
take
the
on this?
video.
What do you think about it?
I mean, I've been telling you guys the whole time, like everything that you saw is something that you need to keep your eyes open to, because I kind of knew something of, like I said, I knew about the whole owl thing and that retreat. I didn't know too much about this whole Jeffrey Epstein, like everything that happened with him and the leaks and the stuntman, him like talking about him seeing it. Also, I didn't know anything about people just it being so open like that. I thought that would have been way more secret, like more of like how
Or
the
in the
emails
shadows,
were. Yeah, more of how the emails were. But seeing how they just leave it right out there for people to see, it's crazy. And if it's out there for people to see, but we're not seeing it, what else are they hiding from us? Like in our open eyes, you know what I mean? Like. If not just human, or if not just sex trafficking, are they also doing like human trafficking somehow?
I mean,
possibly.
Who knows, guys? This whole week, this happened with the whole UFC leak. I mean, not the UFC, UFO leaks, giving us the UFO pictures. Like, what's going on back there, guys? What's going on that we don't know about?
There's a lot of big picture.
Is the Earth hollow?
And that's a good thing to bring up, Marcos, because they release these videos of UFOs, but nobody's talking about it as much. People are making jokes about it. Like, people are talking about it, but they're still not talking about it, It's insane. It's got coverage, but nobody's wants to say.
No one's doing
anything about it. And that's the scary thing. What else is the government hiding, but also not hiding from us?
What are they not telling us? Because they're showing us, but they're not telling us.
Exactly. They're not, exactly.
They're showing us in movies,
small
shows,
exposure.
The smallest things that we think it's just like, wow, that was a good movie. No, guys, they're showing us. They're not telling us. It says somewhere in that declaration that the government needs to show us what's going on. At least needs to inform us.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not doing it by telling us, but by showing us.
They need to articulate it to us. It's scary stuff. I just think open your eyes, guys. Don't be a sheep. Don't be a lamb. You gotta don't get fucking eaten by these wolves. We gotta open your
Be
eyes.
Be part of that 1%. Be
Yeah.
part of that. You know, do your investigation.
Well, think about it
out.
like this: they're 1%. We're the 99. We're more than them. We gotta fucking figure this out.
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
so
we do, guys.
That's all I gotta say about it. You know, I guess we're gonna start winding down here on the podcast, but before we do, we should give a shout out real quick to our other sponsor, Southern Standard Services. You know, they're great company, great people who work with them. I love the work that I see them doing, and I love their Instagram page, actually. The owner's Instagram page is also popping like crazy, too. I don't know if you've seen any of it on Insta, Marcos. Have you? Well, if you haven't, you gotta go check it out. You know, they're our sponsors, so maybe you should go check it out.
No, definitely. I mean, I work with them, shit.
Yes, of course. Marcos is part of Southern Standard Services. You know, we appreciate them very much.
Definitely, guys. You know what? He really puts in the effort. You know, go check out the Instagram page, guys, because not only are we telling you how much of the quality of the general contracting that they give to you, look at it in the pictures. The pictures, they tell you what's going on. The amount of work that's put on, you see the before and the after. You see the detail that's being put into this work, the quality. It's like a design. Yep. We're giving you this design, guys. We're giving you the blueprint. Reach out to it. Reach out to Arturo. Reach out to anybody, and let's do something about it, guys, because you want that quality work. Quality over quantity.
You guys will like them. Go check them out. You find them on Instagram and Facebook at Southern Standard Services 1. You can find the owner. He's at avega67. You know, you can find him on Instagram, Facebook also. His name's Arturo Vega. That's what the A is short for. Good people. You know, they got good people working with them too, and I love them. I trust all of their work. I recommend them to everybody anytime I see anything that somebody needs some help.
Definitely.
You know, another quick shout out we want to give is to
the How Many Podcast, guys. How Many Podcasts? Go look them up on Facebook, guys. It's a really good podcast.
Yep.
They always come out with new episodes for you guys.
You can find their videos on Facebook. They probably have a link to their YouTube from there too. You can also find them on there. You know, go give them a like and a subscribe on YouTube. Even if you find them on Facebook, just click the link, subscribe to them, give them a like on their latest video.
Definitely, guys.
You know, it doesn't hurt. It can only help.
And we gotta take care of each other, guys, because this is a whole society, a family, and we have to take care of each other. You know,
definitely
and support each other. It is what it is, and it's a really good podcast. There's a lot of good podcasts out there that need to be heard.
Yep.
You know we're awesome, but there's a lot of awesome people out there. You know.
And I know a lot of people had a lot of free time to listen to podcasts. You probably tired of all the same ones. You know, this will be something new for you to go here. Go check it out. And you know, we're also getting back into the groove of work. Some states, so this might be something you're gonna be able to start listening to while you're at work. You know, like you did with your old podcast. Those might be something you incorporate. Go check them out. Definitely. At Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. Even on Twitter, I think, at the How Many Podcast.
And like we said throughout this whole episode, guys, really, if y'all have anything to talk about, any thoughts, you know, like we said, we're going to be coming at you only once a week now. So really come at us and just give us something to talk about. And we will answer those questions. We'll give you what you want, guys.
Yup. And
real honestly.
And, you know, we're going to, since we've only got one episode to do this every week, we're going to be putting a lot of attention and work into this one episode. You know,
we're going to
rest assured we're going to have some good stuff coming for y'all.
Definitely, guys. We're going to make this perfect for y'all.
Yeah.
We're going to give you what y'all need.
Yep. And we're excited to have some more guests. I know you guys might have been missing them, so you guys are going to see a lot of new people, a lot of familiar faces, some people you've seen before. It's going to be good. We're excited for this.
Definitely, guys. Go follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at Podkings Podcast, or look us up on YouTube. Just look up Podkings Podcast, iTunes, everywhere, guys. We're here to give you the information.
Yep, anywhere you can find a podcast, you can search for us on YouTube, all of that stuff. And then also follow our personal accounts if you want. I'm at Damian G 2015.
Yeah, mine is at Marcos Lopez.
Okay, Daniel, would you like to give a little plug? You want anybody to follow you on Instagram, Twitter?
Oh, well, on Instagram, my at's Daniel._Gonzalez_ and a Z. Man, I don't really use Twitter that much, so.
It's not Probably Dan?
Nah.
Okay, well.
Probably Dan?
Nah.
Well, you guys heard it here. You can find us at all of these places. Go give us a few follows. Go give everybody we've shouted out. And we hope you enjoyed this episode. Go look into it a little bit more. and see about some of your favorite stars and
Mm-hmm.
people you look up to. They might be part of it, and you might not even know.
Definitely, guys.
Yeah.
Please listen to this episode and tell us what you think about it. All right.
Yep.
We're here for you.
So I guess we'll see you guys next Sunday.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.